All right. So also while I had you, because I was thinking about you this morning as I was like making breakfast, I was thinking about the brother that you asked me to look into. And I keep hearing that, are you currently in Ohio?
No, I'm in Illinois.
Illinois. I keep hearing the state of Ohio because you were asking me to look for a brother that could possibly be alive. I think you're going to have to narrow your search to Ohio.
Okay. And they might have changed his name if he was adopted, all of that. So, I mean, it's difficult.
I think it's going to be very difficult, not impossible.
Yeah.
You're going to have to start genealogically, which means you're going to have to just bite the bullet and get your DNA tested if it's not already.
Our family has. So, my
I,
sister's on there, my son's on there. So,
you're
there's
going to have
nothing been
to,
popping up.
yeah, you're going to have to go backwards to go forward, like
Yeah.
way, way back, and then start matching like the craziest people to find it.
Um, okay. Well, he was adopted, I would assume not by anybody within the family or the family line.
So what I hear is that it was a stranger,
It was
like
what?
like a stranger,
Oh,
like
yeah, he was in DCFS care, Department of Children and Family Services. We all were.
yeah. Um, and they also talk about like his file being like a lie. Like almost everything that he knows is in that file is like probably not true, just made up. And that's very common for,
Yeah. I don't know what his mental state is. Most of them that were born were mentally challenged. Um, I do know the woman he was with, last time I seen him, he was little. I mean, probably five or under. And they removed him from her home because they said she was getting too old and he needed medical treatments because he had seizures really bad. And I know some of the medical records state that one, because they're both named Samuel, and one of them is in a vegetable state in a hospital and nobody's allowed to see.
somebody says that that's not him, the one that you're looking for. I think he's functional. Like I think you could have a conversation with him.
Okay, so I wonder if that's the one that was born after me that everybody said died, but there's no death certificate. He would be a year younger than me.
Possibly. I see him as kind of taller than you. I'm 5'1", so everybody's taller than me.
Yeah.
Just to give you a frame of reference, but I see him as like taller, dark hair like you, um,
Hmm.
real skinny and kind of like he shifts a little bit whenever he walks like this,
Hmm.
and then whenever he comes in, he looks like real looks at you.
Hmm.
Um, it does feel like this is the guy I'm thinking of. Like he does have some type of like autism or Asperger's. Like he has a hard time relating to people.
Okay.
I think he's going to be difficult to find because I don't think he's looking for anybody. I don't think he's mentally aware that he's supposed to be looking for
Hmm.
anyone. I think he's like he feels functional. Like you could have a conversation with him, but I wouldn't expect him to have like the mind of an adult. Like I'd be real surprised if he did.
Yeah. There's only four of us, four, maybe possibly five that I consider normal
Yeah.
out of 11 kids.
Yeah. So I would be real surprised if he wasn't like I don't think he's a vegetable. I think he can like he can be out, he can work, he can be independent, but um I wouldn't expect to like have an in-depth
Hmm. Can
conversation.
you tell if he still has the same name, like first name, last name?
I hear John, and that's such an like he got such a weird what's his like what was his birth name?
I'm Samuel Neil
Daniel.
Holland the third, and then the other one is Junior.
I think he has that. It's almost like I see a piece of paper where it's typed out and it's like yellowed with time in an envelope somewhere. And I think he has that. And I can almost hear somebody say, like, oh, they told me that was somebody else. My name is blah, blah, blah. Like he
Hmm.
has a very, like, what I would call a white people name.
Yeah. So we do have a birth uncle named John, but I was told he died. He fell off. He used to work on the cell phone towers and fell off of one. Now I don't know if that's true because I've never met him.
I think indiscriminately he fell off of a ladder. He was on a ladder to get on a cell phone tower because that's what I see. Like as soon as you say that name, I'm like, oh, I see him real high up and I see somebody on a tower to get to like the phone line.
Hmm.
And it's almost like I don't know if he got shocked, if he messed up, but it's like something makes him go like this and
Yeah.
then he just falls.
Yeah. And then I
Um,
have another sister, or not sister, but another aunt. I couldn't even tell you her name. One time I was told it was Tina, and then another time I was told it was different, but it was my birth dad's sister. And I have no idea where she's at, if she's even alive.
it sounds weird, but it's like nobody remembers her. It's real weird. That's what I hear. Like whenever as you're telling me about these people, I don't know why. It's almost like she
Well,
did
the birth
something.
grandma that is a witch would be her daughter.
It is almost like this is a neat trick. It is almost like she is invisible to everybody. Like she was made to be invisible or she made herself be invisible. Like don't find me, motherfuckers. Like she feels like she could be right in
Yeah,
front of your
I've heard
face.
she's dead, but yeah, I heard she died, but I don't like my birth dad is a habitual liar.
I don't think that's true. I think there is something around her that keeps her very hidden. And she also keeps to herself.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's true. Um, and unless you found like concrete evidence, I don't think it's true.
I know my grandfather was raising her daughter because she got taken by DCFS. I don't know why he took her, but not the rest of his grandkids. And my grandfather passed. I do know that when I turned 18.
Yeah. Uh, that I think is more uncovering of the story, but I definitely think the aunt's alive. She just feels like a little invisible for whatever
Hmm.
reason. It's like somebody takes a blanket and goes, boop, don't see her anymore. And
Hmm.
I don't know if that was for protection or if it was like her own doing, but and it's very strange because if I bet you $50 and if you ask people like what she liked, what she was like, what her personality, what you'd probably get a different answer from everyone.
Yeah, and there's nobody alive other than my birth dad to tell me.
Yeah, like you would get different answers because it's like it's so strange. It's like people don't remember her.
That's weird.
I've only seen one other practitioner be able to do like weird shit with like memories. And
Hmm.
it wasn't really used for great things. But any other time that happens, especially if you're working with a practitioner and you're like, I would say if it's somebody that you feel like is helping you, but like a lot of bad shit starts to happen to you really, really quickly, and then you like start to forget things, write it down. Because that's
Oh,
how I kind of,
there's things that I don't want to bring back.
yeah,
I don't even want to visit my past when it comes to my childhood. There's things I remember, but there's things, most of it I do not. The
yeah.
sexual abuse I've completely blocked out.
And that's totally okay. Um, okay. Let's talk about money for 2025. Let's see what that's going to be like. All right. So, Six of Wands. Six of Wands sees you going after it and kind of traveling a little bit about with your money. So, you might do like, are you still looking at the salon? Because I also feel
Yes.
like you're gonna have that. You're gonna have that. But I also see you, it's like you do like pop-ups, like, hey, this is my new business, this is my new salon. Like you find very unique ways to like bring people into the building physically.
Hmm. Okay.
Does that make sense? Have you been kind of thinking along those lines? So like do like
Yeah.
once you get the place, like you got to get people in the place to have it make money. And I think that's where that is going to take you. And Six of Wands, like our wands, anytime we see that, is that's our motivation, our desire. It's going to be how bad you want it. And right now, that's going to seem really far away because we're in the winter months and you're like, well, I need it to be booming now.
Hmm.
So I would think of opportunities and try to like network with if there are any businesses around the place that you're thinking about renting. Um,
I have one in mind, and it's across the street from a bar.
Good. Start.
So
You're
it's
gonna have some
one,
clientele there.
yes, it's one that it's got a lot of traffic. So I mean, I've already looked at it, I've already planned my design for it, everything with the
Good.
remodel.
Start thinking about making those connections within that community because I think that's really, really going to help you. Seven of Swords comes in, and our swords are anything with our mentality. And for you with money, this is going to be like kind of don't step in your way. Don't let your fears get the best of you. Like you can make this work, but it's going to be up to you on how bad you want it. And it's also going to be up to you having balance within your life. Like I know this business is going to take over a lot for you, but you don't want to be busting your ass and then come in and be like, "Oh no, everything's shit at home." Because Three of Swords talks a lot about heartbreak and negativity. And this might have to do with you like separating from the current salon that you are at and like kind of striking out on your own. Like, I don't really foresee that as like, I think she's going to understand like the person you're working with, but there might be some
We've been best friends since we were 13.
words. Yeah, there might be some words, and that might be a process that you kind of have to go
It's,
through.
I already know it's going to end the friendship. It's pretty much been done for a while.
Okay, as long as you know we're on
Hmm.
the same page.
Yeah,
So
she's
I
not
would,
a positive person, and what she tells others, but what she says to your face is two different things.
yeah, yeah. I would definitely watch out for that. Be aware. And I
Hmm.
would definitely, they're talking about exiting silently. It's almost like you're like, okay,
Well,
bye.
I'm waiting. I've already planned until till I have to tell her.
Good, good. So I'm going to talk about the oracle cards that kind of go with these three tarot cards, which is the first one is Tribe of Dreams, and that's a really good one because that goes with the Six of Wands. And Tribe of Dreams talks about, you can't really achieve your goals without like people, without help, without advisors or community. Like, especially if you're starting something brand new, you got to be able to bring people into that space, and that's going to come down to the connections you make in your job, the clients, and in the community. Interdependence for the Three of Swords. That talks about a very codependent relationship. And if you're kind of exiting a relationship to stand more on your own, which energetically right now you kind of are, where you and this friend have kind of built this up and built this up. And yes, her shop is successful, but it's almost like, okay, now it's my turn.
Yeah, she's never in our life, and I got to thinking about this. She's never in our life wanted me to be at the same level of her or above her because if I ever was, she would get upset.
Well, you would be better at it.
Yeah.
And that's where the interdependence kind of locks in. So as much as you're striking out and you're building something new, I definitely think this business is going to be very successful, but you're leaving the old one behind energetically and kind of emotionally. And it's okay to like, I know you want to go, go, go because you're like, I need this today, tomorrow,
Hmm.
yesterday, but you also have to like grieve what you built. And that's okay. It's okay to acknowledge that and be prepared that like it's as much as you want it to be peaceful, I don't really see her making it a peaceful exit. But you have to be like, okay, well, this is
This is why I'm
it.
leaving because this
Yeah.
is the way you're being. This is why. Here's my example. This is why I'm leaving. This is why everyone else has left.
Yes. And I mean, I think it feels like there's going to be like a big blow. Like it's almost like she gets in your face about it and you have to detach.
Hmm.
You have to. Because
Yeah, because I'll end up striking her if she
yeah,
ever got in my face.
yeah. And somebody talks about word will spread, and we don't want that. We want good vibes, good
Hmm.
promotion for your business. So I would just avoid that at all costs, but be aware that it's probably coming. I don't know what your timeline is, how quickly you want to do this, but be prepared. Spirit's
I
trying
want
to
to
give you
be,
a heads up.
I want to be in the new place March, April.
I was going to suggest March, and then I was like, I don't know how quickly she wants to move, but I was
But
going
the
to say
thing,
March.
it's finding grants and loans that do not require collateral.
I think you're going to find something. Look for women business loans or women business um,
That's what I've been looking at.
grants. Yes, I would look specifically for those. And apply. If your local bank has anything for women-owned businesses, talk to them. And if
The
they
state
don't,
of Illinois has a lot.
yeah, if they don't, then I would, or if they don't offer that to you or can't for whatever reason, I would be like, hey, do you know of anybody?
Yeah. I've been making a lot of phone calls, so.
If you go to banks, banks really like in-person relationships because then they
Hmm.
put a face to the name, and I would go that route and see how that could work out. But I definitely see things speeding up for
I have
you.
to get a business plan together first.
Yes. So this is going to be kind of, so this January is going to be like the January and February are going to be the months of action and planning. Okay. So Seven of Swords talks about the worst has kind of left you, right? Um, if you were ever doubting that you couldn't get the business or you weren't like you got it, it's in the bag. But this is the moment where it has to get serious right now.
Hmm.
And you can't get, tied down to gossip or jealousy or any of those weird shit because that is gonna stop you.
Hmm. I've
So
pretty much anything, I am just kind of blocked it all mentally. Like when something comes my way, it's like, well, fuck you. I could care less what you have to say. And I've been like that for months now.
good. I want you to continue on that path because you're definitely going to be tested. And I think it's mostly for whatever reason, it's mostly this girl. Does she understand that you're like wanting to leave? Because I feel like this is,
She has come to me several times and says, "Oh, so and so said this and this," and I'm like, "Yeah, you knew when I started because I asked you if you wanted to partner with me, and you said no,
mhm.
and so you know." And I told her then that I want to be out on my own. My goal, it was actually a 5-year goal, but I'm making it a 3-year.
Yeah.
So
So I think it's definitely going to be, it's almost like she doesn't want to see it. Um, so you
she
have,
doesn't want to see somebody succeed more than her.
yes. So you have the Hanged Man, which tells you that we need to look at situations differently, which I think you're kind of on that path. But as far as money is concerned, I want you to get really creative and really think outside the box if you're trying to raise capital, ask for investors, ask for loans, women, business grants, anything that you can get a hold of. And do not think that you're just not capable. The hangman really, really talks about like looking inward and kind of healing and not letting things kind of get to you. And you're definitely on that path, but this card really wants you to take time for yourself. I know we want to manifest and we want to go, 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 but you're going to burn yourself out. So have some balance here. So the Eight of Swords, this talks about somebody feeling trapped and somebody feeling like encased that they can't go anywhere or do anything. That they are just stuck in the position that they're in. And this really doesn't feel like you. I think this feels like probably somebody around you. Like they
Probably
can't,
my husband.
yeah, like they just can't move forward. because they are where they are, and that's it. They're stuck there.
He doesn't want to change. He is living through me.
That's going to get harder and harder and harder for him. I think you're going to see a lot of success in 2025. I see him having a lot of mental issues, a lot of mental strife, a lot of not towards you in general. I think it's like this weird general frustration that just builds and builds within him. And it's almost like at the end of 2025, you see him go, ah, like it just bubbles up and explodes. Does that make sense?
Mhm. And that would be the day I tell him we're getting a divorce.
And I mean, that might be at the end of
Because it already happened this at Christmas time this year. I mean, he came home, just been coming home drunk, and I said I will not deal with him coming home drunk and me having to deal with it because he wants to cause arguments and everything else.
yeah. So I would definitely you're building the framework for you being the most successful person, but like on your own. But I think it's going to take a big push by the end. It feels hot whenever this happens. Like I can't get a specific date, but it feels warm. Like I can hear like a sprinkler, like almost like summer, like end of summer.
Like when he explodes and
Like when everything kind of like comes to a head. And I don't know if he just has like a particular thing about summer and drinking more or what it is, but it's almost like he's like, okay, I don't like this. And it's not really anything that you do. They talk about it coming from a place of jealousy. And I don't know why, because he should just shut up and ride the wave. But for
it could
whatever,
be if there's more men coming into the salon, just stuff like that in general. I mean, he was a little jealous. I got a free computer. I posted on my Facebook. I was just asking questions about tablets because I want to get one for to be used in the salon
Mhm,
that clients can like look at Pinterest stuff like that. And I had a friend that was my brother's best friend. I don't know if they still are or not.
mhm.
And we kind of slept together and he gave me a free computer. And I told my husband, I said, I won't lie to you, but that was like I was 21. It was like, who cares? He brought it into the salon, didn't even stay, left.
Well, that is what it is. I
Yeah.
think if you're going to be by a bar, I think you'll have a lot of different clients. Offer some beard. I don't know why I'm being told this. Do you do beard services? Anything with
Um,
just
we
beard?
can on like within a facial, we can. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to allow hair, like anything with hair in there. I mean, it's mainly going to be a nail and esthetician salon, no hair.
yeah. They're
I've
talking
kind of
about.
offered to one of the girls in the salon, and I don't know if she's going to take it or not. She was
Mhm.
the only one that I would bring from the salon because she is an esthetician and a cosmetologist. So she would be doing hair and aesthetics. And if she doesn't take it, then I'm not going to even put a chair in there for hair.
Yeah, they're saying if you want to attract men clients, because men clients will actually spend a little bit more money than a woman for whatever reason. Um, that you could do things like advertise beard services. I don't know anything about beards. I'm a woman, obviously, but that could be something potential that you can just throw up on the board, like an idea board for services down the line. So it's going to be important that whenever you're dealing with money matters, that you react same, but different. That kind of means that I've been telling a lot of people lately, as far as if they're getting these types of readings, budget, switch your spending habits. If you're somebody, and it's as easy as like if you're somebody that goes to the grocery store and you buy a lot of box shit, you're gonna have to start like learning to cook from scratch because that is cheaper than buying the box shit. Everything eats into your money. So it's little changes that are going to stretch
Oh,
what
I
you
know it's eating into my money. It is the gifts on TikTok
do.
and me playing games on my phone.
Oh.
So that's where my money, a lot of it lot of excess spending goes.
I would say try and nip that in the bud. Not that it's like forever. And that decision, depending on what happens with TikTok, may be made for you by the powers that be. I don't know.
Hmm.
But I would definitely say change how your budget looks until you have the keys and the place in hand and everything kind of nice and shiny how you want it. And then you can, do whatever you want. But for right now, because I don't know what you're doing over there, but it's kind of like you're switching that timeline where I saw you on the Tybee Island.
Hmm.
I don't know specifically if I said I saw you alone, but I see you alone now. I don't know what you're doing over there, but you're switching things over. And
You told me you've seen me alone in the country with land, a pond, and an old White House.
I still see you. I still see you alone. I think
I
you're,
probably will be because I'm just fed up with it all. Men in general.
yes. I still see you kind of alone there, but I see it happening quicker, like quick, quick, quick,
Hmm.
quick. Whatever you're doing over there, you're speeding it up the timeline, which is good. It's good for you. So I would say keep doing that. And I think it has a lot to do with how quickly you're taking actionable steps.
Hmm.
You're getting these readings and you're actually like doing shit instead of just listening to the readings, which is good because that's working for you. So take things day by day. The best stories produce better stories. As far as money is concerned, just keep it nice and tight for real. That's going to benefit you. And whenever they're talking about whenever if divorce papers get sent to you, you're going to have to turn over anything that you've made. The more success he sees, the messier it's going to get. So
Hmm.
don't, I
Oh,
would,
I hide a lot of stuff. He's
I
gonna have
was
a fun
gonna,
time finding it.
I was gonna tell you, don't leave a clear paper trail.
No, it's
Yeah, that was gonna be my direct advice to you on
I'll
that.
have to go off of bank statements. Let's put it that way because my books match my bank statements.
Yeah. So that's that's the best piece of advice I could give you about your money because you're gonna get a lot of success. You're gonna separate, and then people are gonna see you be very, very successful. I see a lot of people move out of the way. Just kind of anybody that like was shit talking or just like not there for your, it's almost like they disappear. He's
Hmm.
gonna straggle. He feels like he holds on for a little bit too long in a sense. Because you're going to be like, when does this person leave? And I'm going to go, I don't know. So breaking news, not normal. I love that card for you because it talks a lot about things getting going quickly, paying attention to opportunities around you, what you can have more and more and more, quick, quick, quick. And it's gonna be okay. Like what is happening to you? People are gonna be like, how did she get all of this so quickly? And you can just say, because I worked for it, but also because this is your time. I keep telling people if you've had a really shit, last couple of years, 2025 is going to be a really good year for you, but you have to be paying attention to that. You have,
Hmm.
oh God,
You can't expect you can't expect success if you just sat on the sidelines.
that is true. That is true. So that's why I think people are gonna like, oh, because not a lot of people are like you, especially whenever it comes to, they're also talking about they're just not gonna understand where you got all this money from. It's like a mystery, and you're gonna be like, surprise, I have a place. But that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good for you. I want you to go ahead and if you are thinking about having any type of social media presence for this place, you need to go ahead and grab it. Have a name picked out,
I already do.
start all of that and like start documenting the journey. Like, hey, today we're picking it out. Hey, we're gonna take a tour. Hey,
I
we're picking
can't do
out.
that yet because she will see it all.
So I would say document it and don't post it,
and
but
then post it
have
later.
it ready. Have it ready to go. Whatever platform you choose, totally up to you, but have it ready. Like maybe you put it on a disk drive, maybe you have it on a computer, on your website. I don't care, but have a way for it to be reachable to you.
Hmm.
Okay? Because that is going to be really, really helpful. And people are nosy. They like to hear about things like that. They
Hmm.
like to see things like that, and that will drive traffic to you.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do now.
Good. Keep doing that, and I think this is going to really, really, really pay off. Really pay off. I also see you like creating flyers and like leaving these flyers everywhere. Like I see you drop some off in Starbucks. I see you drop them off like just everywhere, everywhere. So I would say like advertise your services, have like a little I can't say the word right now. I'm not thinking of it. Here, like these business cards have a QR code. Have your website on there. Like
My sister makes my business cards for me, so I'll have her put the QR code on.
yes. So whenever you have a QR code, you have to pay for it, right? So it'll stay active. Um,
Hmm.
so make sure you have like funds for that. Sometimes you can get a yearly subscription, sometimes 2 years. Otherwise, whenever they scan it, they're just going to get a 404 page. And that's that. So, but if you don't want to pay for it, then, or you forget whatever, make sure your website's printed on there somewhere.
Okay.
Have like a million different ways to get in contact with you on that business card or flyer or whatever you choose to have. Maybe it's both. And look for fairs, vendors, things that you can go to and be like, this is what we offer. Maybe you go and you give free facials for like an hour one Saturday at a fair, and you're like, this is my business. I'm local, come here.
Hmm.
So I would look for a lot of opportunities to get into the community like that, and I think it's going to really pay off because people like shit like that.
Yeah.
Even offer like if you're down for it, work with local practitioners and be like, hey, if you guys need to read tarot or do Reiki, like send your clients here. I'll give them a coupon for a service. Like network in different areas. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah.
And then you get like you see a revolving door of clients that maybe you wouldn't have seen before.
Yeah. I have a feeling like just what comes to mind is once the word's out there, like the first couple of weeks are going to be slow, but then after that, it's going to be
You're gonna
busy and I'm
boom.
going to be turning people away.
You're gonna boom. Hmm. You're gonna boom. And I'm so excited for you. Like I cannot wait to see all
Yes.
of this. I'm
I
so
cannot
excited.
either. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to find girls that fit with me in the space.
Yes, because they're talking about you are gonna be a fairer boss. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
You're going to be a good boss, a fair boss, and to not like, they're also talking about whenever you're moving into a leadership role to not lose sight of that. Um, and that's going
I've
to take
never,
good
I've,
people.
yeah, I've always like in other leadership roles that I've had, I've always kept it fair.
Yeah.
Like as the people who own this building, his wife, which I used to drink with her back in our 20s, she used to own the salon, and then some stuff happened. She got out of it, and then let somebody else take over. They ran it down. He told her, he goes, she is going to be a bitch. And he's like, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in a good way because she's going to stand her ground. There's going to be contracts signed. You sign the contract, you know what you're expected. If you don't follow it, I'm going to say something to you.
Yeah.
And she's like, I wish I was like that because then she would have had more of a successful place
Yeah.
and not walked all over. So, yeah.
But I think that's going to be like, this is going to be like the role that you have always kind of needed. You just more or less
Yes.
needed the opportunity, the right connections. And I think now is the time for that. But like an actionable step would be to have people already in mind, have a list of employees that you want. If you don't know, start looking.
We have a cosmetology school here that is constantly pushing girls out. Once they're graduated, they need places to go. We do not have many places in our area for estheticians. I will probably, because I want to do massage in there too. So the rooms will be open to estheticians and massage therapists. So whoever first come, first serve. I mean, it's booth rent to me. I don't care what it is as long
Yeah.
as the rooms are full.
Good. This meeting is about to close and then I'm going to go into our next one, okay?
Okay.